students. This is Miss Julia. Good morning. This is a short video to help explain to you how to do assignment 1.7, 1.8, and 1.9, especially if you did not come to Zoom class, maybe you were working or something else. These videos can help explain to you how to do your work at home. So 1.7. Now, if you came to Zoom class, you already did this part and you don't need to worry about it. If you were absent from Zoom class, then you have a little extra work to do. So let's read the directions. It says directions. Junior talks a lot about his body in the first chapter. Write down all the problems he has with his body in the table below. So to do that, if you weren't in class with us, you need to either in your packet, right? Either in your packet, in your English packet on page 5, or if you did not come to pick up your packet, you can read the chapter. It's on Google Classroom. It's 1.3, chapter 1. Yeah? So what you need to do is you need to read this chapter again, looking for all of the different problems that this boy, his name is Junior, that this boy has with his body. And then when you're reading it, if you find one, each time you find a problem, you're going to write it down in the list. So, for example, one problem that he talks about on the first page of this chapter, see the example? One problem that Junior talks about on the first page is he says, I have too much fluid in my head. I was born with water, extra fluid in my brain. That's a problem, right? So I would write it down over here. Later in the chapter, he talks about his teeth, right? He says he has too many teeth in his mouth. That's a problem that you would want to write down, okay? So that's 1.7. And then 1.8, I think, is pretty clear. It says, answer questions about this chapter. Number 1 says, how do you think Junior felt after he went to the dentist? So to answer this question, again, I want to go back to the chapter, and especially if I can't remember, and I want to go to the part of the chapter where Junior talks about going to the dentist. And he talks about what happened. And he talks about how he had to go and have 10 teeth pulled out in one day. And I want to read that part again, and then I want to answer how I think he was feeling after he went to the dentist. So for these questions, you're going to need to go back to the chapter, especially if you're not sure, and look at that part again. Look closely at that part of the chapter so you can type your answer here. Now, you can also, if you don't like to type on the computer, you can also use a pen or a pencil, and you can write your answers in your packet on the paper, right? A lot of students don't like to be on the computer so much. They like to write on paper. That's okay, right? If you write it on paper, you have 2 options. You can take a photo of it, and you can upload it to Seesaw, right? Or you can also bring it with you on Monday, because all students are coming to school on Monday to drop off their packets and to pick up the new packet for the next 2 weeks. So you can do that also. And then 1.9, the directions say, what do we know about Junior's identity? His identity is, how does he see himself? Some things on this list We don't know yet. He does not tell us in the chapter. But many things we do know. So, for example, his sex, we know that he is a boy, right? So we can write male here. We know that. A lot of these we know, and some of them we don't know yet. Like religion, he does not talk about his religion in this chapter at all. He will talk about it soon, but we don't know yet. Okay? If you cannot remember, what does sexual orientation mean? I can't remember, right? Go back to assignment 1.1 at the beginning of your packet. And your job was to translate. Oops, you can't see it. Your job in 1.1 was to translate those identity words. So if you can't remember, you should be able to go back and look at how you translated them. You should not need to translate them again. You already did that. Right? So I would write male here. I know he's a boy, right? He's male. He has a penis. So I would write that here, okay? Do I know his age exactly? Maybe. I can make a guess, and I'm not going to give it away, but there is a part of the chapter where he talks about how old he is. Let's see if you can find it. I will give you a little secret hint. It's on page 8. So I'm not going to give you any more answers, but to do your work in 1.7, 1.8, and 1.9, you really need to keep looking back at the chapter at 1.3, okay? And I look forward to seeing your work and your ideas. Bye. You can always call me or text me if you watch this video and you still feel like, I don't understand what to do, okay?